fellow Toastmasters and friends. The reason why I choose this topic is because we accountants believe are the most powerful people in the world. Why? Every time there's a business that collapses, the CEOs will never admit to their greed or incompetence. They will always point to, it's the accountants, it's their fault. In recent memory, we have WorldCom, Enron, and of course, Health South. And in the Health South case, it's the accountants who, Aaron Beam, the CFO, who went to jail instead of the CEO. And if we are powerful enough to cause a business to collapse, then perhaps we're powerful enough to make a difference in your everyday lives. And one way to do that is by sharing with you some of the concepts I learned in my 20 years as an accountant. For instance, internal controls. These are processes designed to encourage a positive result, rather to increase the sales of a company by 1 million, minimize losses by 100,000, or serve 100 homeless people in Las Vegas this Christmas. You have internal controls, and internal controls are either directive or preventive. Directive would be policies and procedures which are designed to encourage a certain behavior. For example, you want people to drink no more than 2 cups of coffee a day, and the reason is so you can have coffee for everyone, so you come up with appropriate policies for that. Preventive would be to prevent the same people from running away with the coffee machine after work. And the best way to do that is, again, you have trainings, you have policies, and the best way to teach that is through pictures or photos. This is an example of a directive control. Directive control, the objective here is to make sure that the warehouse supervisor takes the product in the shortest possible time, puts it in the truck, and it gets delivered to the customers. And the way to do that is to arrange the products in a neat rack, and it's labeled. And you could see that there's no other boxes or pallets around the work area. So that's a good directive control. Preventive control would be the same way. You prevent the same employees or burglars or thieves from breaking into that same warehouse at night and stealing thousands of dollars worth of inventory. So now you're asking yourself, how does this apply to my everyday life? Well, for example, you have a daughter, an A-list student, who had nothing but honors in elementary and high school, and then one day she wakes up and said, you know what, Mom? I don't want to go to college. I just want to have lots of babies. And so you're scratching your head. How can I apply the principles of internal control to this? Should I show her a picture, and maybe you could show her a picture of someone who's successful, someone who looks fabulous and rich and doesn't have babies. So what better way than a picture of Paris Hilton? She's young, she's successful, she's fabulous, she doesn't have babies, and best of all, she's so successful, she's always surrounded by lawyers and police officers. So, but still your daughter is, at a certain age, everyone is stubborn, just like me. So, your daughter would say, or niece, but I'm tired of studying, I just want to have babies. So you apply the principles of preventive control, and you show her another picture, and God forbid, but if this doesn't work, then probably no power in the universe will. So we now move to the next principle of accountants or accounting concepts, budgeting. Budgets are about a plan stated in monetary terms, and the objective is so you won't go over budget, obviously. So this is an example of a cash budget. So you have revenue. Revenue could be your sales, could be, if you're a lawyer, professional fees, could be your salary. Direct cost would be the product cost or the cost of your training if you're a lawyer, so you're updated in the latest rules and regulations. Operating expenses would be your power, light, cable, telephone, water, and so on. Administrative expenses are expenses which doesn't fit either direct cost or operating expenses. And these are basically essential expenses. And of course, it's important to control administrative expenses, because if you don't control it, you will end up with a net loss or deficit, and you end up borrowing either from the bank or your friends or family or fellow Toastmasters. So you don't have to, so that you will be able to pay off all your other expenses. And this is the tricky part, because when you apply it to your situation, essential expenses could mean different things. For example, for men, this is an essential expense. And I confidently speak in behalf of my fellow male members. I hope you'll back me up if they lynch me. For women, essential expenses would be this. And it would be this. Jewelry. And best of all, shoes. And the tricky part is the shoes and the bag and probably the nail polish and the jewelry has to match, which makes for a really expensive essential expense. So I know that taking advice from accountants like me is a very risky proposition. But hey, to paraphrase Alfred Lord Tennyson, it's better to have risked and lost than never to have risked at all. And I'm Toastmaster.
Thank you. I think you need to have a talk to my husband, let him know that.
Thank you.
Well, looks like we're, was it